Hi everyone, this is Dhruveen and today I come up with another brand new series on Power Apps training program. This is App in a Day program where we will build the complete Power Apps from scratch. So this is completely focused on beginner to pro level. Remember, this is 100% practical based training program where we will talk about complete practical and build Canvas application, Dataverse table, model driven application as well as integration with the Power Automate completely. Okay, so this is like a crash course of 2025 which I want to give as a gift to my subscribers so that they can leverage the overall Power Apps capability over here. Remember one thing, this is a crash course. If you just wanted to go more into detailing about the theoretical concept and all, my full playlist on Power Apps Canvas app training program is already there in the description box. So you can check it out. Okay, but this is something new, this is something unique, which is practical focused and you will build the application completely with me along side by side. Okay, that's the main goal of this particular course. Remember one thing, if you are looking for any paid consultation or a paid program, generally I do have my live training program once in a quarter. So if whenever you are watching this recording or whenever you are looking for any training, check out the description box for the latest date for my training programs. So without further delay, let's get started with this particular course. So first of all, let me talk about the overall agenda which I'm going to cover up throughout this particular course. This course will start and divided into four part of series. In the first part of this training program, we will talk about how you can get started by creating your first Canvas application. So the overall goal for the first class is you will get an overall idea about your Power App Studio, you will get an idea about your environment, your solution. Along with that, we will build one simple Canvas application with the Excel as a data source. In second part, we will be extend the same example with Dataverse. So here you will get an idea that okay, what is Dataverse, how you can connect Dataverse with the Canvas application, what are the features you can implement over there. So second part is all along with that. Third part, we will talking about how you can build your simple model driven application by extending the same example. So you will get a clear picture about what model driven can do out for your application. And in the class number 4 and final class, we will be connecting our Power Apps application with the Power Automate. So here it's more about the integration piece. So you will be get a better idea about the Power Automate integration. Okay, so that's the overall agenda which I'm going to cover up into 4 different classes. Again, this is overall 4 to 5 hours of course and complete playlist is available in the description box so you can check it out. Before we get started, let me talk a little bit about me, my introduction. So my name is Dhruveen Shah and I am Microsoft MVP and Microsoft Certified Trainer. I am working as AI, Power Platform and M365 practice lead. I have having 10 plus years of industry experience specifically in the low code, no code space. I started my journey as a .NET developer. Slowly I move into Power BI, then Power Apps, Power Automate, Copilot, and nowadays I'm practicing on AI as well. So these are my subject matter expertise, specifically in the world of Microsoft. Whenever you can see the word Power as a product, that is somewhere which I am mostly working into. Apart from that, I worked on the Azure and overall M365 suite as well. Okay, basically I have founded 2 companies so far. One is powerplatformtrainings.com, which is specifically targeting on the trainings where I'm conducting the different trainings on Power Apps, Power Automate, Copilot Studio, Power BI, and slowly we are planning to introduce some more new training programs underneath that particular venture, and so far 1000 plus students has been trained across my different training program. So if you are looking for more information, the links are available always in the description box where you can check it out. Apart from that, I have published 1100 plus videos on my YouTube channel. My main goal is free education for all. We are doing training program because we are receiving lots of requests from the YouTube where you can interact live with me, you can clear your doubts, you can get more in detail content than the YouTube that I'm publishing. But again, free education for all, which means that we are publishing more free content as well for the people who cannot afford my training programs and all. And personally, I would like to connect with you all guys. So that's the reason why we have training program versus why I'm having the YouTube as well. So I'm doing this YouTube since last 10 plus years, when I started this mostly in 2015, and now in 2025 I have gained up approximately 50,000 plus subscribers and 10 million plus views. That is again a very good benchmark in last 10 years that I have achieved over here. So thank you so much for showing your love and support, and hopefully this playlist will also help you to enhance your skill set in the world of Power Platform, right? And if you want to follow me on my other social media handles, because I'm available on all social media handles, because I would like to connect youth, and nowadays I find that most of the youth are on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Discord, and so many other places. So if you want to follow me on my all the social media handles along with my links and everything, this is a shortcut link which you just need to remember or just need to enter in your browser, where once you click on that, you will be just redirecting over there. You will always find my latest training programs along with my all social media handle details, from where you can just follow me over there. Okay, so that's overall thing about me. So without talking more about me, let's get started with our first class, where we will start the things with the Canvas application. Also, remember one thing. In this particular training program, you just need to, I will ask the quiz at the very end. So if you know the answer of the quiz question, just write down your answers in the comment section. And obviously, like at frequent interval, I will announce some winners as well in the same chat experience. So it's a good platform where you can interact with me via comment section over there. And whatever you feel about this particular classes, just provide your valuable feedback over there. And again, a humble request, if you haven't subscribed my channel so far, please do that, because it's free for you, but it motivates me in lots of other way. It motivates me to generate such a free content over here on YouTube for all of you. So yeah, without getting delay, let's get started. Now, first of all, let me show you the end outcome, what we are going to build at the end of the first video. So this is the machine ordering application which I'm going to build in the Canvas application. So this is a coffee machine ordering machine. Okay, now over here on the left hand side, you will be able to see the different coffee machines category. Like it is for home, it is for espresso, it is for commercial coffee makers and commercial espresso machines. Okay, now what happens is, whenever I'm selecting any appropriate category, appropriate machines are filtered over here. Now, let's say I want to compare any two coffee machines over here. Okay, I can just select them over here. So I'm selecting this and this. And when I click on compare, basically I will be able to compare both the machines side by side over here. So this is one simple page with different type of concept we are going to learn in the first class. What is the main purpose of this particular class? The main purpose is, at least you will get an understanding that, okay, if you are having the data in the tabular format, how you can written down that into gallery, how you can implement this kind of checkboxes, how you can do this kind of comparison, at least how you will get an started with the Canvas application. That's the main purpose over here. Currently in the first class, we are not connecting any data sources. Data source is something which we will connect in the second class, but at least let's get an overall tour and overall idea about the Canvas Studio and what you can achieve over there with this one. Okay, also remember one thing, for this particular class, whichever hands-on or whichever data source or whichever schema that you are needed to build up this application, I have provided the download link of that as well in the description box, so you can download it from there, and with this video you can perform that along with you at frequent interval to match the pace. Maybe what you can do is, you can simply pause the video, you can just perform that thing and go to the next step afterwards. So at least you will gain that confidence that you are building, will be able to build your Power Apps by your own. Okay, that is the main goal for this particular class. Okay, so without further delay, let's get started. So let's get started with our first practical over here. First of all, to get started with the Power Apps, you need to open make.powerapps.com in your browser window. So that will open up this Power Apps homepage for yourself. Now, the very first step to start with any industry project is to create an environment and to create the solution within that. For that, you just need to click on the setting gear from here and make sure that whichever account you are using to perform these practicals that have the administrator access, because only administrator can create the environment for yourself. Let's click on admin center over here and that will redirecting me to the admin center. Let's wait for that to be loaded over here on the screen. Now remember, on your screen, if you are able to see the new admin center, don't worry about that, because recently in 2024 and Microsoft released a new admin center. If you are able to see this kind of admin center, that's also fine. There is a switch on the top which is available to switch between the environments over here. Okay, so if you want to be more familiar, try to use out the new admin center. Otherwise, you can just go with your older admin center view as well. Let me go with the newer admin center because that is the future, and slowly the older screen will be getting deprecated. So to add more value, we are just going to use this one. Now from this, let's click on the manage option from the left navigation, and once you click on that, you will be able to see the option of environment. Let's click on that, and first of all, let's try to create a fresh new environment for ourselves. So I'm creating a new environment. So here there are a couple of options. You need to provide the name of your environment, whether you want to make it manage environment or not. Group, if your tenancy, there are different groups, you can select appropriate one. Then region, where your data center to be placed, and if you want the latest feature to be released early, you can select this switch as well, and you can select the appropriate type of environment from here. So simply what I'm doing here is I'm just making my environment name here as app inner day, and I'm selecting region as US, and I'm just using get new features early because I want to explore my features early. Now from type, I am selecting the environment as developer environment because Microsoft providing developer environment where you can try out the premium features free without any additional cost. So you can use Dataverse, you can use all the premium characters, everything free with the developer environment. You don't need any additional thing, and it has unlimited validity until and unless you are using it constantly. So there is no fear that okay, after 30 days you will lose this account. So let's create a developer environment which you can able to perform in your tenancy as well. Maybe sometimes you are not able to create developer environment by own until and unless if your organization has blocked that feature for you. If that is happening with you, maybe contact your admin center and tell them to create an admin developer environment for yourself. Okay, and now I'm simply clicking on next to set up my developer environment, and I'm just clicking on deploy sample apps and data option as well over here, and simply clicking on save to create your environment for app in a day. So I'm creating my environment over here, and let's see how it goes. So you can see that I am able to see that okay, your environment is preparing right now. It's in preparing stage at this point. Basically it will take around 3 to 5 minutes to set up the initial environment. Okay, now let's just wait for that, and over here as well you can see this particular message that it is preparing it and it can be ready once it is available. Now let's click on refresh over here, and once you refresh it, probably it is ready, and here I am. You can see that my environment is ready at this point. Here when you see the ready stage, after that you just need to simply open that environment and need to perform the task into that. Now let's switch towards our environment, and to switch towards the environment, let's go to our make.powerapps.com. Make sure you refresh your screen over here. Okay, once you refresh your screen, on the top right corner you will be able to see an option of environment. Let's click on that environment option over here, and let's search for app in a day that you have created for yourself. Maybe it will not appear for you directly after you create your environment. So let's wait for that. I'm just closing my browser window and reopening it again and signing it again. Okay, so maybe it will take some moments to appear for you. Okay, I'm pausing here for a moment and let's reconnect once this environment is set up. After few seconds, I just refreshed my screen and now let's try to open up my environment again from here. Let me click on that, and as soon as I open that, you can see that now I can clearly see app in a day over here. Let's switch to this environment by clicking on that, and you will be able to switch your environment over here, and on the top corner you can see the name of the environment as well. Okay. Once you set up your environment, the next immediate step is you need to set up the solution for yourself, because this ultimate canvas application, and slowly in the part 2 and 3 when we build the Dataverse table and model driven application, we will create everything within the solution itself. So that's why we are creating the solution here. So to create the solution, the easiest way is you simply need to click on solution option from here. Let's click on that, and you will be redirected over here. Now remember one thing here, that when you create your environment for the first time, you will be able to see couple of solutions created by default by Microsoft. Now here we need to create our own custom solution, and to do that, on the top you will be able to see an option to create a new solution. Let's click on that to set it up. For that, here you need to provide the name of the solution. So I am providing my name of the solution as Contoso Coffee Approval. And then you need to provide a name without a space, which will be added automatically once you type up this name. Then you need to add your publisher. Now what is publisher? Publisher indicates who developed the associated solution, which means that who owns the right of the solution. Here I am owning the right of my solution. So maybe I am creating my publisher as I am providing my own company name, which is powerplatformtrainings.com. So I'm just providing my company name over here, Power Platform Trainings. Okay. Now here you just need to provide the name, Power Platform Trainings. You can provide your company name, or maybe if you are working in some of the organization, you can just provide that appropriate name over here. Okay. Or otherwise, if you think that any appropriate name which positioned over here, that who developed this solution, you can provide that thing. Initially in this example, you guys provide your own name. Okay, because you guys are owning this solution. Okay, so you can just provide it. Description, prefix. Prefix is something that, okay, if your company name is Power Platform Trainings, you can just provide any shortcut name over here, because prefix is something that when you build any application inside the solution, it just has that prefix name associated with that. So I'm just providing name of my company's short form, powerplatformtrainings.com, which is PPT. Power Platform Trainings. Okay, so I'm just providing PPT over here. That's it, and clicking on save from here. And this is how I just created my publisher over here. For Contoso Coffee Approval, I am now selecting this publisher from here. So now from the drop down, the publisher that we just built, let's click on that and let's select that up. And now I'm simply clicking on create to define my solution over here. So let's create the solution. And here I am. Within few seconds, it just created a fresh new blank solution for myself. So far we finished up 2 steps, creating an environment and creating a solution over here. If you haven't performed the task yet, just pause the video, finish it up, and after that watch the rest of the part where we will start creating our first Canvas application. As we all know, PowerX is having Canvas application, model driven application, and Power Pages for external facing websites. So first we are going to build the Canvas application. But before that, make sure you do up to this point over here. Alright, so now let's get started by creating our Canvas application from scratch. To create the new application, first of all, inside your solution, click on New, and from here you will be able to see an option of App. From that, select the Canvas application from here. Let's click on that. As soon as you select that, you need to provide the name of your application. And over here, I'm just providing my application name as Machine Ordering App. So I'm just providing this name, and let's click on Create after that. I'm clicking on Create, and this is creating my first Canvas application inside the solution over here. See, this is how my first Canvas application looks like. Now, the thing is that we need to start designing our screen. So, I have already shown you the end outcome at the very beginning that we want to use the Contoso coffee machines comparison, right? So, for that, we need to start building our designing. For that, what I'm doing here is in the first screen, I'm going to edit the screen name first, and I will add different elements over here on the Canvas application. Remember, in Canvas application, this is called as a Canvas Studio where you can design your application. And from here, these are the different options or different controls available in the Canvas application, which you can self-explore and try to add the different element and try to build different stuff over here. Okay. Now, let's get started with that. But before that, remember one thing. For this exercise, you require some sort of data source of Excel. Okay, so I have already published the link in the description box from where you can download the same Excel file that I am going to consume as a data source. So this is what for students I have uploaded this one of the folder where I am going to upload some of the Word file as well as required all the necessary stuff for yourself. So make sure from there you can just download it and use it for yourself. Okay, so link is available in the description box, so do check it out over there. Okay, so first of all, let's get started. First of all, I'm going to just rename my out of the box first screen over here. So I'm just renaming my screen in the tree view because this is called as a tree view in the Canvas application. So whichever control you will add here, it will be showing underneath tree view. Okay, so simply over here to rename the stuff, I'm just double clicking on the same screen over here, double click on that, and let's rename the screen over here. Okay, so I'm just providing the screen name as main screen over here. Okay, although you can simply use these three dots and rename as well, or maybe let's say whenever you select anything on the right hand side section on the property as well, you will be able to find out this stuff for yourself. Okay, so you can choose any appropriate option to renaming your controls in the stuff. Again, remember one thing, on the top over here you can see the property. So whatever element you are selecting from your tree view over here or anywhere on the screen, okay, and if you want to look out that okay, whatever properties are available, you will be able to see on the right hand side section. And to enable property pane for your screen, you can simply click here or you can simply click here. So what happens is it will showing and hiding accordingly. Okay, so you can use any appropriate option the way you want. Okay, now the thing is that first of all we need to create the header element over here. Okay, and to do that, let's do one thing. Let's add one label control over here. So simply select here and make sure that you select the label control. So I'm just selecting one label control for myself and let's make it big like this one. Okay, I'm just making it like this fashion, and then I will just do a little bit formatting, and you can see that for any control you are able to see that control is to be added underneath your tree view over here. You can just rename your header as well. So let's say I'm just making that LBL header. Okay, so you can just provide appropriate name as well for your control. So in future it's very easy for the maintainability perspective. Now the simple thing is that this is my label. Now we just need to apply some sort of formatting over here. If you are not matching the pace with me, make sure you just use the pause feature over here because this is a YouTube video. So I cannot wait on the YouTube video for a long time for you to reach up to this point. So whenever you feel that okay, you are not matching up with my pace, maybe just pause it and do it on your screen because it is possibility that okay, to perform it, it will take some time for you. I can totally understand and relate with you. So never find yourself that you are not able to do that. Okay, just don't lose the hope. Okay, make sure you pause at some interval, you perform the things with me and make yourself confident by building up this application with me. Okay, And I want to hear from every one of you at the end of this video in the comment section that okay, if you have built this application confidently with myself, just tell me in the comment section that yes sir, I have built this application, or just tell me yes Dhruvin, I just build up this thing by my own, okay, and just show your thing over here, so at least I will get to know that how many of you has built up this application. Okay, so okay, that's it. Now let's resume this from here. Okay, so you just added this label on the home screen. Now what you need to do is let's just format it. And formatting is very easy in the Power Apps, okay? In the right hand side, you always have your property pen section, okay? From that property pen section, you just apply like your similar formatting. This is similar like, you know, how you are doing your Word, PowerPoint, Excel formatting. It's exactly same like that, okay? So it's very easy. So let's do it. So first of all, this is what my label looks like, okay? So let's just provide some beautiful color inside it, okay? So I'm just making some sort of black color in the background. Okay, and as soon as I make it black, I cannot see the text over here. Maybe I can just make my font sizes white here, so it shows me text here. And meantime, I will make my text as a center align, and over here you are having the center alignment option as well. So let me make it to center align. Okay, then let me make the font size as big one. Let me make it 18. So it looks like this, and let me change the text as well over here. So I'm just providing my text over here in the label as machine ordering. Okay, so I'm just doing this, going to the text property. So either you can just provide your value over here, or maybe on the top as well you can see the same properties. Okay, it's totally up to you. So here I'm just pasting machine ordering, and you can see this is how it looks like. Okay, and after that I just wanted to make it bold, so there is a property called font weight which is available, and I'm choosing that and just making it as a semi bold over here. So see, this is how it looks like. Looks cool to me, isn't it? Okay, now let me do one more interesting thing over here. On this corner, I just want to add some sort of logo as well for myself. Okay, and here I just want to add like, okay, who is the current logged in user? I just want to print that as well. Okay, so for that I'll do again one more thing, but before that, for this label, let's change the height little bit. So over here right now 87 is the height, right? So instead of 87 I will make it 60 as a height. Okay, so the header looks like this. Okay, now I'm adding one more label control over here. So I'm just taking another text control over here on the screen. Okay, and this is how it looks like. Okay, and now here what I'm doing here is, let's make it a little bit big, and over here I just want to print out the current logged in user. Okay, for that, this is my control, okay, and this is my text property. So here I will use one formula. So in Power Apps, if you want to find out the current user login, there is a function available called user. Okay, just do like this, user, okay, dot. And when you do that, it will show you the suggestions as well. So from that, make sure you select the full name, okay, user.full name. And you can see right now I have logged in with my account. So it will show me my name, Dhruvin Shah. Okay, now what you need to do, simply arrange it over here. So you can use this kind of drag and drop. Okay, and maybe you can just rename this control as well, that okay, this is your label username. Okay, so in Power Apps, sometimes you are able to find the modern control, sometimes you are able to find out the classic control. You can use any one of them. Okay, because in 2025 it is good practice that you will use modern control, but still right now some of the modern controls are not more stable. So it's up to you which type of control you want to use it for yourself. Okay, so I'm just using this, and simply what I'm trying to do now is I'm just shrinking it little bit, and now I'm just making it over here somewhere. Okay, and I will just change the font color over here. Okay, so it will properly visible. So I just selected this. Okay, and there is an option of font color. So let's pick up the font color as white. So it is showing me like this way. Okay, so I change my color using this box, and now I will just make it the font a little bit bigger over here. So for that I have some property, font size I'm making to 15, and I will make it to italic. So it looks like this, and let me just shrink it the width a little bit to 200 pixel, and that's it. And let's just arrange it like this way. Okay, so over here it will always show me the current logged in user's name. Okay, so looks good to me. And now it's trying to add some sort of logo for myself. Okay, so let's provide some logo on the header. And to add the logo, what we need to use here is simply we need to use one image control. Okay, so I will just go here and search for the image. So let's add one image control. So this is how the image looks like. Okay, now you can just make it big or small depending on your need. Okay, now the thing is that here I'm not going to download anything or upload anything. Okay, I'm just going to use one of the GitHub URL. Okay, so maybe what I can do is I will just provide that link as well in your description box, or I will just upload one file as well for you from where you can just copy paste the image URL. Okay, so what I'm doing here is simply in the just select your image control. Okay, so this is your image control and this is being added here as well, and in the image you just need to provide the URL for that. So what I'm doing here is I'm simply pasting this image URL over here. Okay, and this is how you look like. See, this is how this image looks like over here. Contoso perfection is brewing, something like this, right? You can just make it big or small depending on your need. Okay, now it is just a matter that we just need to set this logo somewhere over here on the screen. Okay, so now what I'm doing here is simply I'm just making the height and width properly. So I'm just making height as 60 pixel and I'm just making the width as 200 pixel over here. Okay, so I'm just using this size property to configure it. Okay, so it looks nice and promising to me. Okay, now it's just a matter that I just need to move it to the upper part of the screen. Okay, for that I'm just going here and I'm just updating over here. Okay, so if you just zoom in a little bit from the bottom, you can see this logo here, and even you can just preview it and look it out. Okay, this is how your logo looks like. Okay, so it's up to you that how you want to set it up your logo for yourself. Even let's say if you just wanted to shrink it this stuff a little bit and you just want to make your logo in some different way, you can do it as well. Okay, or whichever colors you think which is good for your application and all, you just have it for yourself. Okay, even you think that okay, this black color is not suitable to you, and if you just want to change your color somewhere, something like this, or maybe something like orangish, you can make it as well. Okay, it's totally your choice, your application. Okay, so try to play around that and make your app looking good. Okay, and let's see how it goes. Okay, so I'm just like, okay, I'm cool with, I'm not focusing more on the colors at this moment, no matter what the colors I'm having. So I'm just having the black at this moment. Okay, but depending on your need, you can change it by your own. Okay, so I'm just having this at this point. Okay, now, it is always a good practice, guys, that you always rename your control. So maybe if it is your logo, right? So make sure that you just make your control name as well. Like, okay, like this is was your logo, right? So IMG logo, maybe you can just make it like this way. Okay, and your header is completely ready. Perfect. Now, let's go to the next step. Let's save up to this point. Okay, so you will not lose anything from here. Now, next step. If you haven't performed so far, pause it and finish it. Okay. Now, next step, we need to add the data source in it, because ultimately we are going to do the comparison of the coffee machines, right? And to do that, we need to upload the Excel file. So we are first going to consume Excel as a data source. And don't worry, that Excel is something I have already provided as a link. So when you specifically extract my folder for yourself, okay, you will be able to find out some of the folder, and from there you will be able to find out that particular Excel for yourself as well. Okay, so don't worry about that. So this is the Excel. I'm just providing you as a link from where you can download it. Okay, I'm just simply opening that Excel on my screen at this moment. And here you will be able to see two things. One tab is for different machines and another is for different machine types. Okay, so make sure that you download it from there. Okay, now I'm not going to too much deep dive into that okay, what are these fields and all, because by practically when you open it, you will get to know about it. Okay, so what I'm doing here is simply I'm closing this Excel and I'm simply uploading this Excel to my computer. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so I downloaded it, and now to upload that Excel, the steps are very simple. simply you need to click on this data source option over here. So you can click on here, or maybe you can click on add data from here as well. Any one of the option will work. Okay, so I'm going here and let's click on add data. Okay, so you just click on that and search for the Excel. Okay, when you search for the Excel, you will be able to see some of the options over here for the Excel, like Excel Online, exported Excel, blah blah blah, many different things over here. Okay, so from this screen we will simply select an option, import from an Excel. Let's click on that, and once you click on that, it will open up your file explorer. From that you just need to upload your file. So here I'm just uploading my machine order data from here. Let's click on open, and as soon as you do that, it will show the appropriate table on the right hand side. Now from this table, make sure you select both the tables, machines and machine types. I'm selecting both the tables from here, and let's click on connect over here. As soon as you do this activity, on the left hand side you will be able to see machines and machine types as a data source from an Excel has been added perfectly for you. Okay, so you have configured your data source over here first in order to start with the application. Okay, so that step is something you need to perform now. All right, now take a moment here, download that file from the description box and upload it now. Okay, once you upload that, follow this step along with me. Meantime, just pause the video. Okay, now on this particular screen, first of all, we need to show the different machine types. Okay, and on the right hand side we need to show all the possible machines. Okay, so first of all, to show all the different type of machine, we will add one gallery control, and to add the gallery control is basically used to show the data in a tabular format or in a card format. So gallery is the control which we need to use here. Gallery control is the most powerful control which we are using many times in our Power Apps. Okay, so to add that, just click on insert menu option from here. So I'm just clicking on insert menu, and let's search for the gallery control. As soon as you find for the gallery control, you will be able to see the different layout option for the gallery. Okay, from this you can simply select the vertical gallery option for yourself. Let's select the vertical gallery. And as soon as you add this gallery control on your screen, this is how it looks like. Okay, and if you look at your tree view, you can see this gallery has been added over here for yourself. Okay, now it's just a matter that we need to change our format a little bit over here. Okay, and to do so, first of all, let's rename our gallery control over here. Okay, so what I'm simply doing at this moment is I'm just providing the name of the gallery is gallery machine type. Okay, machine type. Okay, so I'm just changing it into this way. So I just rename my gallery over here firstly. Okay, it's always good practice, as I say, to rename your controls. Okay, now let's work with this gallery. So the very first step that we need to perform here is we need to provide the data source to our gallery. And for that, when you select your gallery control, you are having the item properties. Item properties where you can configure your data source. Or when you select your gallery control over here from the canvas, you will be able to see the data source option on the property pane as well. So over here as well, you can configure your data source. So simply I'm selecting machine types over here because we are selecting the different machine types over here first. Okay, so I'm selecting machine types as a data source, and as soon as you select this data source, you can see couple of values are being changed over here like this way. Okay, don't worry about that at this point. Okay, what we need to do as a next step from here is let's just provide the gallery to appropriate position. So I'm just making this gallery's position a little bit over here like this, and I'm just making the height a little bit over here. Okay, and let's just do one thing. I'm just changing the width here as well. So I'm changing my width of the gallery as 200 pixel like this. Okay, and I'm selecting height as somewhere around 708. Okay, so you can just use this property, or maybe you can drag and drop as well. It's totally up to you. Okay, so I just make the shrinking a little bit over here like this way. Okay, now the thing is that gallery also offer you some sort of layout options. Okay, so let's go to the layout, and from here select the appropriate layout. So I'm just clicking on here and selecting some layout. Okay, so here from this layout you just need to scroll down a little bit. Okay, so gallery provide lots of out of the box layouts over here when you click on the layout option. Okay, so when you scroll this down, some layouts available. From that, maybe let's just choose it out, this one, 2-column layout. Okay, maybe let's pick it up. Okay, as soon as you do that, see, this is how your gallery structure looks right now. Okay, now it looks really ugly at this point. Okay, 2-column layout. Okay, so let's convert it that, okay, I just need one layout per one row. Okay, so what I'll do here is, there is one good property available in the gallery called wrap count. Okay, just click on the wrap count, and right now it is set to by default. Okay, so instead of that, maybe just do 1 over here, and that's how you will be having 1 images over here like this. Okay, now let's do one thing. Let's rename the control a little bit. So this is my gallery. Okay, let's expand that a little bit. Right now I have this only 1 image, so maybe I'm just renaming this image as IMG machine type like this. So I just renamed it. Okay, and now the next thing is that we need to configure our controls value. Okay, and for that, like, select your gallery like this way. Okay, and inside that you have this image, so select that image. Okay, or there is one more option available as well, like when you click on edit as well, you will be able to see that. Okay, so right now I'm picking up the image. Okay, and image has one property called image. Okay, and in gallery, the very good thing about the gallery is you can just configure your photo URL over here. So to do that, in gallery, whenever you want to configure any property, you need to use this item. Okay, why this item? Because you have configured your data source from that Excel, and you just added that table over here. And from table, if you want any gallery row, you need to use this item. Okay, which means that from that table, the first row, I mean that row. Okay, this item dot what you want, photo, I just want to display the image. Okay, so let's see how it goes, and see, this is how the different images looks like over here. So this item dot photo has just added that particular thing for you. Okay, so what we did here is simply we had the machine types over here, and we basically just added those images over here on the screen. Okay, now the next thing is that we need to see, still the images are looking ugly, right? So we need to just make it more better. Okay, so let's just reduce some sort of template height and all, and let's just play around that a little bit. Okay, so reduce the height of the template. So what I'm doing here is I'm just simply selecting this image first. Okay, and let's see how it looks like. Okay, so for that, you know, my images are showing as a scroll here like this way, right? I don't want in that fashion. I just want that all 4 images showing without scroll. Okay, so I'm start reducing the height a little bit like this way. Okay, so this is actually reducing the image height. Okay, so right now you can see what's the image height here. It's 155. Okay, and meantime, when you select this galleries layout, okay, so just need to select the gallery. Okay, main gallery. Okay, and you can see this template. Maybe try to reduce this out as well, and reduce up to the point that, okay, all your 4 images are showing without scroll. Okay, so I'm shrinking, and this is how it looks like, right? It's just a little bit adjustment that you need to do. Okay, so this is how it looks like, and then inside image as well, I can make it little bit bigger like this, right? Looks cool. Okay, it's set it up. So if you just want to set it up directly, maybe you can use this one. Like for inside image, you can use height as 175. Okay, and for template, so if you select gallery, and if you scroll down a little bit in the property, you will be having the template size, so you can change it as well depending on your need. Okay, so we are just doing, but see, still a little bit scroll is here, right? Let's just shrink it a little bit, because I don't want to scroll, guys. Okay, here I just want everything to be proper. Okay, perfect, so it looks good to me. Okay, so all the images I have clearly shown over here like this particular fashion. Okay, and now remember one thing, like you have added this emoji control, right? So it has added some border radius as well. Okay, so right now it is 8, so make sure you make it 0, so you know it do not show any radius and it just show like in a very simple fashion like this way. Okay, so you just added this. All right, after adding the image, it's time to add some sort of description as well for the image, right? Because by using this, you will not exactly able to know that, okay, what's the machine type for this coffee machine, right? So what we'll try to do here is we'll try to add one label control over here first. Okay, for that, just click on insert option, and maybe from here you can just choose the modern text control, or maybe if you just want to use in classic control, maybe you can just use text label. So I'm just using one text label, and you can see this text label has been added inside your gallery. So make sure that whichever control now you are adding, it is inside the gallery. Okay, so let's just have that. Let's just make it like this way. Okay, so it looks very ugly at this point, so I'm doing this way. I'm just shrinking it little bit, and I'm just doing like this way, changing a little bit, and now I'm just providing some background color to it. Okay, so to this label, so I'm still selecting this particular label from here, and let's just configure some of the properties for that particular label. Okay, so first of all, let's provide some sort of value over here inside the label. Okay, so instead of this item dot this, I'm just providing this item dot name. So this will just print the name of the coffee machine here. So in the background you can still see this kind of name is being printed, although colors and all not looks that great. Okay, let's just park it. Okay, now I just need to do one more stuff over here, that okay, I just need to go to the background color. Okay, so I'm just changing here the background property of it as a black color. Okay, so it looks like this way. Okay, perfect. And now I just wanted to change its font as well. Okay, so I'll make the font as a white color maybe. Okay, so I'll just select this out, and maybe I'm just going to this one and making it white color, right? So at least you are able to see this colors to here like this way now. Okay, now let's do one thing, that okay, this font size I want to reduce a little bit. Okay, so I'm selecting the label still, and maybe I will choose the font size as 10. Okay, so looks like good. And now let me make it center align like this. Okay, so looking good. Okay, now it looks more promising, right? Isn't it? All right, now let's save up to this point, and now let's add one more stuff over here on the screen, that I need to add one more gallery as well for showing the different kind of machines. Okay, because like this is the machine type, right? Now let's say whenever I'm selecting home coffee machine, I want to show all the home product. I want to show like home espresso machine, at the time it should show that machine, right? So that kind of these are different types. Okay, and then I need to filter the another gallery for all the products available for that type. Okay, so that's what I wanted to perform over here. So let's do that. But before we do that particular activity, as a base practices, always from the tree view, make sure you rename your controls. Okay, it's a base practice. Okay, it's up to you whether you want to follow it or not, because I'm a very particular about the namings. Okay, so I'm just providing here like LBL machine name. Okay, you can just provide any appropriate name depending on your need. Okay, so I'm just providing like this way. Now as a next step, here I need to create another control for the gallery. Okay, so for that I'm again adding one more insert option, and let's search for the gallery again, and this time I will add horizontal gallery. Earlier we added vertical gallery, guys. Okay, this time I'm adding horizontal. Why? Because this time I want to show the product by horizontal way. Machine types we are showing in the vertical position. Okay, so I'm adding one vertical gallery on the screen, so let's add that. Okay, and basically when you add the horizontal gallery, this is how it looks like. Okay, now very first step, as per the practice, this is my gallery, and here I need to configure the data source for that. Okay, so here in data source, let's provide machines. So basically it will show all the machine data sources for yourself. Okay, so just provide machines as a data source, and this is how it looks like. Okay, now let's rename the gallery as well. So I am just renaming my gallery 2 as gallery machines. Okay, so let's rename gallery machines. Okay, now as a next step, we need to arrange this particular gallery. And to do that, what we'll need to perform here is, let's expand this machine gallery first of all. Okay, and let's pick up this image control over here. Okay, although here we have provided the data source as machines, right, but still the properties are not being configured properly. Okay, so let me just rename the control a little bit. So I'm just renaming this image as img machine. Okay, next what I'm doing here is I'm going to configure the image property. So right now it's showing as a sample image. Okay, so instead of that, I just need like this item dot its photo. Okay, so basically it will show that image over here for yourself. Okay, now let me rename this title to over here like label title. Okay, LBL title. Okay, and here I want to configure the name of this particular machine. Okay, and for that, this item dot, let's say which property you need to use. Here in the dot you will be able to see all the different options available for yourself. Okay, so from here I will select machine name. Okay, this item dot machine name, so it's just showing me that thing over here. And next we need to add the price, so this item dot price. Okay, let's just print it, and from the Excel spreadsheet it's just showing me the price over here at 699. Okay, let's preview it. Okay, so this is how it looks like. Okay, and at the bottom you can see this kind of scroll as well to scroll through the different images, right? But still this gallery looks ugly. We need to format it a little bit over here. So let's format the gallery. For that, select this entire gallery. Okay, and make sure that you just arrange it like this way. Okay, so I'm just changing or positioning a little bit for my gallery. Okay, you can simply drag and drag and make it big. Okay, like this way. Okay, it's totally up to you, like how you want to set it up, your height and width of the gallery. Okay, so maybe I'm just following that. So I'm selecting some sort of width property over here like 1160. That's what the width I wanted to provide here, and maybe 650 is the height I want for my this one. So I'm just having in this particular fashion, and I'm just moving a little bit down like this way. Okay, it's totally up to you how you are planning to arrange your gallery control. Okay, now, one more thing I want to do here, like you can see only one horizontal row which is added over here, like all the products are showing in this fashion, right? I just wanted to convert this row to the 2 rows, from 1 row to 2 rows. And we know that wrap count is the property which is available in the gallery. So let's say I'm just making it wrap to 2. So what happening is these products are moving it down a little bit like this way. Okay, so wrap count 2, and let's make it in this way. Now you can see that when you preview it, you can see this kind of scroll over here like this way, right? But you know, I'm not happy with this scroll. I'm like, okay, I don't want this scroll in this fashion. I want like, okay, scroll should be hidden, and there are some sort of navigation option should be there, that okay, you just need to turn it to the right side or left side. Okay, so what I'm doing here is simply right now I just selected my gallery control, and there is one beautiful property available over here called show navigation. Okay, so make sure that you just turn on the show navigation and you just turn off the scroll bar. Okay, so when you turn on the navigation, see this kind of navigation icon is added over here like this way. Okay, but let me turn off the scroll bar. So I'm turning that off, and now see the magic. Okay, scroll bar is hidden, right? If someone want to move it, just click on that. Okay, and it's just going down. Okay, and if you want to turn left or right, you always have this option, right? And this is the out of the box feature of the gallery. Okay, so why not to utilize it? Okay, so show scroll bar is something which you can make it hide, and another one which you can make it just true like this way. Okay, now what would be the next step? Next will be like I just rename my control and everything. Now let's just make this template a little bit smaller. Okay, so what I'm doing here is I just selected my image over here from the gallery image machine. Okay, now I just want to make it width and height a little bit smaller. Okay, so maybe I will just play around like this. I'm just selecting this width property from here. Okay, so it is showing like this kind of formula at this moment. Okay, just remove it from here and make it like width will be 200. Okay, so it looks like this. And height, let's make height like 170 something. Okay, so it looks like this. Okay, so it still looks good to me. Okay, and now let's just rename this control as well. Like this is my label title, and this is my instead of this, maybe let me just make it like LBL price. Okay, because we are printing the price over there. Okay, so maybe let's just select both of this control together, and let's just arrange this two as well properly. Okay, so I'm just making its font as a central line first of all. Okay, and after that I just want to make it like a semi bold. Okay, font weight is something maybe instead of this selected one, by default this is what it is showing. Okay, that's totally fine, I'm good with that. Okay, but still I just want to make this template a little bit smaller. Okay, because I cannot make it like a bigger one like this one. Okay, so right now I have width of the image as 200. Maybe I can change the width of this too as well a little bit, like properly like 200 something. Okay, and then maybe I can shrink it a little bit like this. Okay, and then this is the template, right? Just reduce the template a little bit. Okay, see. Okay, just look at up to 4 products. When you are able to see, make it like that way. Okay, and then again arrange it properly. So I'm just making like this way. Okay, a little bit perfect, looks good. Okay, it's up to you. I mean, whichever way you want to just design it, just design it. Okay, so now it looks still good. See, four products are showing, looks nice, right? Okay, so looks good. You can just preview it and look at that. Okay, let's save up to this point first. Okay, now we need to do one more activity over here. Okay, now what I need to perform here is simply I want that, okay, whenever someone is highlighting uh, any product, right? I mean, let's say if I'm selecting any product, based on that this should be filtered automatically, first of all, that thing. Okay, and second thing is that, okay, from this machine type I just wanted to know that, okay, which product is highlighted at this moment, so which are the type which is showing on this particular side, right? So there should be some sort of UI changes I need to do here. Okay, so how to write that kind of formula, we are just looking at that right now. Okay, so I'm just highlighting some element from the left gallery first, which is my machine type. Okay, so what I'm doing here is, like, this is my machine type gallery. Okay, and I just want to highlight it that, okay, this is selected versus this is selected, something like this. Okay, so for that what I'm doing here is I'm simply selecting my label from it first. Okay, so this is my label machine name which I have added over here, like this black color and font, right? So let's pick it up that. Okay, so I pick it up that. Okay, and now I will just go to the fill property of it. Okay, where I will write one power fx formula that, okay, if it is selected then it will show some different color. Okay, otherwise it will show the some other color. Okay, I just wanted to have that kind of condition over there for myself. Okay, so let's just go here, and this is my fill property. Right now it is showing this color, black color, right? So instead of this black color I just want that, okay, if my this item, and this item is providing one property called is selected, which is telling you that, okay, which item is selected from the gallery. If this item dot is selected, then I want some color, like color dot dark red. Okay, color dot dark red. Okay, otherwise I just need the same color which I'm having right now. Okay, now let's see how it looks like. Okay, now let's play it. Okay, now I'm selecting this. See, it's highlighted, right? So this is providing at least some sort of good user experience to your user, that they know that, okay, which one is selected versus not. Okay, so this will at least guiding them to achieve that particular requirement. Okay, now next step is, let's say highlighting is done. Okay, but on the other hand, when I highlight this, again, what I want is, I want this to be filtered, because right now it is showing any kind of machines over here. Okay, but I want very specific that, okay, home coffee shows only home coffee. Okay, so how can we write that? So for that we will write one filter formula, and for that right now just select your second gallery, which is your gallery machines. Okay, and just look at your data source which you have configured, which is your machines, right? And even if you look at the item property of the same gallery, you can able to see that database name. Okay, now here we need to use filter formula. So filter is used in the Power Apps to filter out your gallery data. So how we will write the formula? So we will write a formula like, okay, filter, name of the data source, which is my machine's data source, okay, comma. Here, how I need to check? I need to check here that, okay, whichever machine ID is there, it should be from this selected machine ID. So I'm writing a formula over here. And if you just wanted to look at this out, how this logic works, what you can do is simply just look at your Excel, okay? So, when you loaded your Excel, maybe just look at like this way and think like a normal human, how you interpret it, okay? So look, these are your different machines, right, guys? All your machines, right? And here you have different machine types over here, right? And basically, what you are doing here is, here you can see machine has one property called type ID, 1 2 3 4 for different kind of machines, okay, 1 2 3 4, okay. Now here if you look at your machine spreadsheet, here you can see also machine ID, right? So you just compare that, okay, machine ID equals to whichever is selected over there, okay. So that's logic we are writing here at this point now, okay. So we are looking at the machines table. We will look at the property that, okay, what would be the machine type ID over there, okay. So when you start typing, it will start showing you the suggestion, okay. So let's start drafting again, filter machine, okay, comma, here it will show all the properties. So machine type ID equals to which one, which is your galleries. I mean, from left gallery, whatever ID is selected, that's what you do here, okay. So what's your galleries ID? So this is your gallery on the left. So your galleries ID is gallery machine types, okay. So let's copy the ID of the gallery and let's type a code, gallery machine types dot selected dot, again there is an option type ID, okay. So you just need to select type ID over there, okay, and that will at least filter out your data for yourself, okay. So machine type ID is equal to that one. Let's finish up the bracket over here, okay, and at least you will be able to see this thing to be displayed over here for yourself, right? So my gallery is filtered. Now let's just verify this, okay. I'm just clicking on this. I'm clicking on this. See, it's just changing the value over here for myself, okay. See, this is filtered, right? Different values are going over here like this particular fashion, okay. So we are just doing this way. Now, one more important aspect we need to do here, that, okay, you are showing the price here, right? But price is not having any kind of dollar formatting, that, okay, whether it's in US dollar or in which currency, okay. So let's say in your organization, you are having dollar as a currency. So you can format that as well over here, okay. So just select this gallery, just select this label, okay. And when you look at the text property of that one, so this item dot price is showing, right? So let's just format it a little bit. So I'm just using one text property over here to format my pricing value over there, okay. And for that, I will just use text property, this item dot price, comma. And I just need to provide a format that, okay, in which format you want to see. So in double quote, I just want to make it in like dollar and then hash, and maybe like, let's say you need comma separated as well, numeric value. So maybe you can use comma, and maybe you need to use 2 decimals for that. You can use it in this particular fashion, okay, like this way. And then comma, which currency it is. So EN US, okay. So just provide this kind of formula for yourself, okay. And this is how it looks like. See, it just appended dollar after each one over here, okay. When you select it, see, dollar and then decimal, okay. And when you look at this is higher pricing, see, comma is also being added. So this particular format option, you can do it over here. For that, you just use that particular formula that I just teach you right away, right? So you can do that, okay. Now I want to make my UI more efficient, okay. What I want is, okay, whenever we are purchasing any product and all, right, we are just worry about that, okay, if it is very high price, maybe it should be somewhere highlighted, okay. So maybe what I'm doing here is I'm just writing one condition here, like, okay, if any of the coffee product is having more than $10,000 of price, okay, because in commercial section you can see many products are there which is having more than 10,000 price, right? So it should be highlighted with some sort of red color, okay. So I can just make it easy, okay. And if it is normal, then it just show the color that we have right now, Okay, so for that, what I'll do here is in Power Apps, remember one thing, just think in a natural way that, okay, where you want to configure your property. So I want this price font color to be changed, right? So I'll select simply that element from here, and then I will simply go to the font color property. Okay, so where is font color, where I can change it here, right? I can change the color of that, right? So I can write my condition on the color property of that. So, okay, so what condition I will write here? If this item dot price is greater than 10,000, okay, then I just want my color to be dark red, dark orange or something. Okay, whichever color you think. Maybe let me check dark red. Okay, dark red color. Otherwise, I just want to keep the color same as that I had earlier. Okay, and here I am. Now let me just play it and let me go here. See, all these colors are showing as a dark red color for me over here, right? So looks good to me so far. Okay, so this is how you can apply some sort of conditional formatting as well for your application. Okay, now next step I want to perform here is I just want that, okay, user can select it and select from the checkbox that, okay, which two products they want to compare, right? So probably I need to add some sort of checkboxes over here as well to select out the product. Okay, and then once they select it, I just need to provide some button to compare that, or maybe clear out the selection. Okay, this is the two things I need to do here. Okay, so let's do it. But before that, up to this point, make sure everything is performed. Maybe take a pause and make sure up to this it is performed, then look at the next step from here. Okay, so now let's do the adding the checkbox process. Okay, to add the checkboxes in the gallery control, simply select your gallery. So here I have selected my gallery machines and it is just having this edit icon. You can just click on that or click on insert option from here and search for the checkbox. So here you will be able to find out the checkbox option. So I'm selecting checkbox over here, and basically this is adding one checkbox over here. Let's just arrange this checkbox a little bit over here on the downside. And here there is a property of text which is available that, okay, option, right? So instead of option, let's change it like compare. So I'm just making it like compare, like this way. Okay, and I'm just renaming this control as well, like, okay, ch check compare. Okay, something like this. Okay, so this is how I just added the checkbox control over here. Now the matter is that whenever I'm selecting any particular stuff from here, any select over here, I just want to compare this product side by side. Okay, and to do that activity, I will just use collection, because I don't know which, let's say whenever I'm selecting this or whenever I'm selecting this or this, I just want that item to be captured somewhere in the temporary source that, okay, you have selected these items, right? So probably for that I will use some collection concept in the Power Apps. Okay, so collection is nothing but a temporary source which is storing the data in a table format. Okay, so what I'm doing right now is this checkbox. In Power Apps, we know that every control are having events and properties. So checkbox has two properties, on check and on uncheck. So let's say whenever I'm first selecting it and second time I'm deselecting it, right? So which property should be triggered? Okay, so for that, just select your checkbox from the gallery first. Okay, and now from this properties, let's go to on check event. And on check, what we will create one collection, and to create the collection we will use a formula collect. It will appear in the suggestion. Just use tab to use that and provide the name of your collection. So I'm providing the name of my collection as compare list. Okay, and then comma, which value you want to store inside that selected item of the gallery. So I'm providing this item inside it. Okay, just finish it up. That's pretty much it. Okay, so on check, you just need to write this line of code. Okay, simple. If you haven't done so far, just pause it and do it. Okay, next you need to perform on uncheck event. So just select it and there is one property on uncheck. Let's go there, and over here as well we need to remove that. Okay, on uncheck we just need to remove it from collection. So let's use the formula remove, and inside that we need to provide the same collection which is compare list. Okay, it will show in the suggestion, select it, and over there you just need to remove this item from it. Okay, so it will just add it or remove it. Okay, now let's test this out a little bit over here. Okay, so now what I'm doing here is simply playing this application. Okay, I'm selecting this one and this one. Okay, I selected this two at this point. Okay, now look at the collection. Okay, so now if I'm going here and if I look at on check or on check, and if I double click on it, you will be able to see this collection, and inside that you can see these two rows are being added over here, right? So collection is something which is holding this selected item over here. Okay, and whenever I'm unchecking it, okay, I'm unchecking it, let's see whether it removed or not. Okay, and whenever I'm looking this, now if I expanding the table, you can see it just removed that thing, and now you have only one item over here for yourself. Okay, so just do that quick check over here by this particular fashion. Okay, now as a next step, what we need to do here is simply like, okay, this is your checkbox. So in checkbox, you need to select the default property as well, that okay, if it is selected that gallery wanted to show the default selected item by default. Okay, whenever you are coming up over here for the very first time, or whenever you are clearing your stuff, the checkbox should be cleared out, right? That thing should be happen. So in this one checkbox, there is a property called default. Let's configure it, and in default, let's just provide a code that okay, this item in your collection, if this item is in your compare list, then it will just mark it as a checkbox. Okay, if it is not available, then it will mark it as uncheck. Okay, and at the same position, what we want to do here is we also want to provide user an option to clear out all their selection, and for that I will add one more button control over here on the screen. So I will add one button. So this is how the button looks like. Okay, at the very bottom, I just expand this button a little bit, and maybe I will just rename the button BTN clear selection. Okay, so on this I will just write a code over here. Okay, to clear the collection, there is a simple code clear, and inside that you just need to provide the name of your collection, which is my compare list. Okay, just provide that. Okay, now what happened is, let's play it. Okay, so as soon as you click on this button, see, it's cleared out everything. Okay, and now let's rename this button as well. So instead of button, I will just configure the text property of the button over here. So over here I'm just making is like, okay, clear selection, something like this. Okay, so this is how it looks like. Let me make the color as a black color, because it will just match the theme over there. Okay, so what I'm doing here is I'm just going here and I'll just change the color little bit. Okay, so I'm changing the button color from here, as I've used the modern button control. So modern control has the option color palette. So from this, I just choose the black color like this way. Okay, maybe if you like some other color, maybe you can change it. I mean, it's totally up to you. Okay, I'm just making it something like this red one. Okay, looks good. Okay, so this is one I wanted to do. Second thing I want to perform here is, okay, when you select it out, okay, after that I just wanted to add one more button over here for myself, which will go and basically compare out those machines. Okay, and for that we will create a second screen, and it will just redirect the user to the second screen and compare both the machines side by side. Okay, that's what I wanted to achieve here. Okay, but before that, what I'll do here is I'll just add one button control over here. Okay, so for that, what I'm doing here is simply adding one button control. So I'm just going to insert and add one more button control. So you can use classic, modern, whichever button you feel which is good for you. We have added modern button here. Okay, but let me add classic one this time. So I'm adding one more button over here from the classic control. Okay, and I'm just making it over here, and let me just rename this button as a compare. Okay, and I'm just changing the rename the button as well, BTN compare. Okay, here I'm showing both the classic and modern, guys, because you guys should aware about the modern control as well as classic control. But my suggestion for you is, okay, you can go with the modern control as well, totally. Okay, it's totally up to you. But just for showing both the flavors, I'm intentionally adding that right away. Okay, so it's not something that in my app it's inconsistent, that okay, some of things are modern, some of things are classic. Okay, it's always good because future is the modern control. Okay, but right now the problem is some of the controls are not stable. That's why we are using some of the classic control. Okay, so I'm just using this one right now. Okay, and what I'm going to do here is, okay, one thing, like, okay, this is my compare button, which looks good. Okay, and let me change a color as well a little bit over here. So I'm changing the fill property as color dot black over here, like this with, okay, and maybe font is already changed. But what I want is, okay, if there is no selection done, right, I don't want to go to the next page. Okay, so I want to make this button disable until and unless people are not selecting at least 2 products from here. Okay, so for that I will build one simple logic over here. Okay, and what's that logic is, button has display mode property, right? So from here just go to the display mode property of the button. Okay, so I'm just selecting that display mode. Okay, by default display mode is edit. Okay, so what we will check here is, you will write one condition here, that if my count rows from my collection, which is my compare list, okay, if count row is greater than 2, minimum 2 should be selected, more will fine. Okay, but minimum 2 is required. Okay, if it is greater than 2, then only it is display mode dot edit, otherwise it will be display mode dot disabled. Okay, I want that, so I'm just using that. Now you can see right now I haven't selected anything, so it's disabled. Okay, as soon as I select one, it's still not enabled. As soon as I select any second one, it's should be enabled, but I have added greater than 2, but it's still 2, right? I'm selecting third, it is turning on. Okay, I need to change my logic a little bit here, greater than or equal to 2. Okay, so I'm just changing it, and now let me play it again and check it out. So I'm doing this and doing this. See, right now it's only 1, so it's deselect. And now if I'm selecting this, it's enable now. Okay, and when I compare it, it should go to the next screen and it should compare both the things, right? So now we need to design our second comparison screen from here. Okay, so let's start designing that. But before that, make sure everything that you are able to on my screen, you should perform that. Maybe pause your screen and maybe check out that you have finished up to this point. Okay, and then design the second screen. Okay, so let's start designing the second screen. To add the second screen, we simply need to click on new screen option from here, and let's add a blank screen. As soon as you add the screen, it will be showing as a screen 2 to you over here. Okay, let's rename the screen first. So I'm providing my name of the screen as screen compare screen. Okay, like this way. So this is how my screen looks like. Now the thing is that here as well we need to add header and everything. So what I'm going to do here is, I'm just going to my main screen and copying couple of elements. So you can see, to create this header, what are the things we have used over here, like this label and this image, right? I'll copy this together. So to copy this, I will just press the shift key. But before that, I'll just make it RNG here. Okay, so I will convert it, right click on that. And over here, there is an option in the Power Apps to make it into a group. So right click on that and make it group. So what happens is, it will just create a group, so you can copy that entire group together. I'm just renaming this group as well, that GRP header. Okay, and then I will copy this entire group. Grouping is something which is just useful for, your elements are scattered and you just want that, okay, all the elements into one, because these are the 3 controls used to create a header, right? So that's why I club it together. It's optional. Okay, I'm just copying this from here and going to this screen, compare screen, and I'm pasting it right away. Okay, so I just pasted my control. So this is what it is ready already. Okay, I don't need to do any hard work for that. Okay, similar way, I want to do one more thing, because comparison I want to show for the selected machines, right? So for machine galleries, I already created here on the first screen itself, right? So why not I can just copy paste over there, and then I can just tweak a little bit to save my time. Okay, so what I'm doing here is, this is my gallery machine, right? So what I'm doing here is, I'm just right clicking on that, I'm just copying this from here, and I'm just going here and I'm just pasting it here. Okay, let's see, this is how it looks like. And I will just rename my gallery a little bit, okay, because this is the comparison gallery, so I will just rename this gallery as gal compare list. Okay, and rest of the things are as is. Okay, I'm just arranging it over here on the screen like this way. Okay, and maybe I'll just make it bigger like this. Okay, like this. Okay, let's make it like this. Okay, now one more thing I want to do here, because here I don't need to show all the items over here, right, while comparing, because comparing collection I'm already creating in the screen one, that okay, whenever you are clicking on compare button on check and on check, I already know that which are items are selected, right? So I'm already getting that collection in my compare list. Okay, so this is the source which I need to provide here in the gallery. So I'll just removing this thing from here first, filter code, and I'll just make it like a compare list. Okay, so it will show whichever item we are able to see over there. So 2 items are selected, so 2 items were showing over here to me. Okay, but again we need to do one more thing, like we need to compare side by side. So you can see it's showing here and one showing here. So it is because of rep count, because we copied that gallery and we know what's the purpose of rep count. So let's make the rep count as 1 here. So I'm just making it to 1. So it will show both the products side by side like this. Okay, then it's just a matter that we need some more properties here, right, for comparison. So we are having like a machine name, machine price, right? With that I need some more thing, like okay, what are the features of that, what are the how many cups per week this machine is able to produce it. Okay, and what's the overall description for the machine. Okay, that's what I wanted to look at here. Okay, for that what I'll do here is, I'll simply deleting this checkbox. So I'm simply selecting my gallery. Okay, when you select the gallery, you have edit icon and you select the checkbox and press the delete key, so it will delete that control. Okay, and this is how it looks like. Now additionally, let's add some more label controls over here on the screen. Okay, so for that there are 2 ways. Either you can copy paste the label and use it, or maybe you can just have the new one. Okay, so what I'm doing here is, I already have this one over here on my screen. Okay, and price one also I do have, right? So maybe I just copy this label, okay, and add here. Okay, so it will add another one for me here, right? I need some more as well. Okay, so I'll just follow the same pattern at this point. I'll just copy paste, or maybe if you want to add from scratch, maybe you can just go to insert and add one label control as well for yourself. Okay, so I'm adding another label control for myself, because I want to display a couple of properties, right? So that's why. And I also want to add some description, so I will add again one another label control on the screen. Okay, so I'm just adding everything over here. So right now it's scattered. Okay, but now let's configure it. So this is the third label. So let's first rename the control over here. Okay, so this is my label LBL machine name. Okay, second label is, so again make sure you add a proper name, machine LBL machine LBL machine name. It's already taken, so maybe you can just add some abbreviation or something like this. Then LBL price is fine. This one is maybe LBL I just want to have like feature, right? LBL item feature. Then probably I would like to have like cups per week, so LBL cups per week. Okay, and at last I want to add description, LBL description. Okay, and now I can add the features over here. Okay, so now instead of this price I will just add like, okay, this item dot its features, right? So maybe there is a property called feature, let's provide it. So it's showing the feature now. Then next is this item dot cups per week. Okay, average cups per week. So it's just showing me that as well. Let me make it central line as well. Okay, and last one is description. So this item dot description. Okay, but description is big one, right? So there is one very good property available, guys, in the world of label. Okay, so there is a property available called wrap feature. So wrap feature for the label, make sure it's turned on first of all. Okay, and second feature it should be enabled is auto height for the label. Okay, it should also be turned on. So what happens is, depending on the description, it will just pick up the height accordingly. Okay, now what I'm doing here is I'm just shrinking it a little bit. Okay, because I just want in a very good way. So I'm just having this way, and probably I will just increase its width a little bit like this, right? And then what I'll do here is I just make it font as 10 pixel. Okay, because it's a too big. And then let me turn on auto height. Okay, so it looks like this way. See, this coffee comparison, it is showing like this way. Okay, now let's see if I want to go back to the previous screen. Let me add one more button as well over here. Okay, so I'm just going here and I'm just adding one back button, back arrow. Okay, so back arrow is something I can add here on my header, and maybe I can just change the color a little bit. So instead of this I can make like color dot white. Okay, so I just added the color for that. Now when I go back, it should redirect me to the previous screen. So I need to add one back function code as well. So let's go here, and on select of that, let's say on select, let's write a function back. So it will just go to the previous screen. Okay, so let's try this out. I'm going to the main screen. Okay, I'm just clearing this selection first. Okay, I'm selecting this one, I'm selecting this one, and I'm selecting this one. Okay, 3 product I'm starting to compare. Let's click on compare. So still I didn't redirected myself, so I will write one code here as well for navigation. So on select of the button, let's navigate ourselves to compare screen, comma. You want to have any transition effects? I'm having cover effect. So I'm just writing this code over here to navigate between the screen. Let's click on compare now, and I redirected over here, and you can see 3 things are compared side by side over here. Okay, 1, 2 and 3 like this way. And when I click on back, see, I'm back now. Okay, perfect. When I clear the selection, I cannot see anything here. Again, like you can compare against anything, like okay, I want to compare this versus this and compare it out. So it will show side by side comparison for this one over here, right? Let's go back, and here I am, right? Isn't it cool, right? We did it perfectly. Now only thing is that I just want, the first element of the gallery, or maybe selected element of the gallery to be highlighted over here. Okay, so what I'm doing here is right now this is what like I want to do. If you are selecting anything from here as well, right, it should be properly highlighted. That's what I'm thinking. So what we can do here is, here there is a property called template fill. Okay, let's select that and write down one expression that okay, if this item dot selected is selected, then maybe I just want some sort of gray color. Okay, so I will just use like okay, color fade, color fade. Okay, in fade I just want like color dot gray by, I just want to fade it by 50% maybe. Okay, otherwise the same color that we are having right now. Okay, something like this. So you can see I can have this kind of thing as well, right, for comparison. Now you can do as much as comparison if you want. Let's say I'm going here, see 4 products are compared side by side like this way, right? Isn't it cool, right? So I just compare it and we are done with this thing. Okay, so you build your complete application just within, I think, 1.5 hours, right? Maybe if it is taking more time for you, that's totally fine, guys. Okay, you are learning right now, so it will take some time, but don't lose the hope. Finish this exercise. If you haven't finished it yet, just make a pause, finish it up, go back, check out the step and do it over there. Okay, and now by reaching up to this point, you have finished this. then maybe just tell me in the comment section that, okay, yes, I have finished this exercise. Okay, so you will gain this confidence. Okay, so this is like more practical. We did completely, and your first application is 100% ready with this comparison screen. So now you will tell me that, Dhruvin, you have did everything just with the static data right now. Okay, but what if now after comparing this particular product, now I'm making in my decision that, okay, I want to buy this coffee machine and I want this to be stored into Dataverse, and then order should be processed somewhere. How can I do all these things, right? So for that, just wait for the next episode where we will connect our Dataverse table as well along with this machine ordering system. And next class is on more on the Dataverse side. Okay, so we'll perform more operation in the next class, but till then finish up to this point and tell me in the comment section as well. Now, as I said, finally it's a quiz time. You need to answer me this question in the comment section. Okay, so you need to answer two things to me. One is you need to tell me whether you finished this exercise or not, and you just need to give the quiz answers as well in the comment section. Okay, so my first quiz question is this one. In Power Platform, you can create the environment with the following type: developer, sandbox, production, and all above. At very starting, when we create the environment, I have shown you the different type of environment, right? Which one of the type of the environment? Just give me that answer. Okay, you can just type your answer in, okay, one, then what will be the answer? A, B, C, or D. Okay. Second question for you is, to represent the data in the form of tables or card, you need to use which control of the Power Apps? Gallery, form, label, or button? It's very easy one, guys. Okay, you have performed your practical, so you can able to answer that. Okay, just give me that answer as well. And the last question here is, to automatically adjust the height in the label, which property needs to be configured? Auto property, wrap property, auto height property, and last option is B and C both. Okay, just check out this, try out this out, because it's a very tricky question we have covered in the very last part. Okay, but try out both the property auto height and wrap and see the what's happening around that and give the answers accordingly. Okay, so yeah, that's pretty much it which I wanted to cover, at least for today's class. If you are very first time to my channel, make sure you hit subscribe and press the bell notification to never miss any updates from my channel. If you are looking for any paid consultation or paid training or anything, check out the link from where you can find my latest training program, or visit my website www.powerplatformtrainings.com and just go to the training page where you can find all the upcoming trainings details over here. So see you all in my next episode. Till then, have a great day ahead. Goodbye. Wait. Before you are closing this video, did you follow me on my Instagram page? If haven't, please follow my Instagram account or Twitter account where you can find short content on Power Platform. It's a +1 on this. So Instagram link is available in the description box, or maybe check out this cover over here. Till then, goodbye.